All right, today we're diving into an ancient text that adds a whole new layer of detail to a story many of us, well, we think we know it pretty well, and that's the story of creation.
I mean, we've all heard the story from the Book of Genesis, right? The 6 days, the forming of the heavens and the earth. It's a foundational story for billions of people around the globe.
But what if I told you there's another version? Not one that contradicts Genesis, but instead it weaves in these incredible, almost unbelievable layers of detail that have been passed down for centuries.
So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're about to explore an ancient text that takes those 6 days of creation and expands on them in some truly remarkable ways. So here's really the key difference. On one hand, you've got the story of Genesis, the bedrock, the foundation. On the other hand, you have this alternative text, and it takes that exact same 6-day framework and just fills it with a ton of extra information and story.
So what is this mysterious text? Well, it's called the Axsimaros.
The Axsimaros is an ancient text from Ethiopia, and it was written to give a much more granular account of those 6 days of creation. And what's fascinating is it didn't just appear out of thin air. It actually draws from much, much older Greek and Arabic sources.
You know, the story of how this text even came to be is this amazing journey of translation and cultural exchange that crossed entire empires.
So the whole journey kicks off with a Greek text, the Hexaimeron. From there, it gets translated into Arabic, where it's known as the Axiamaris. And finally, it makes its way into the Ethiopic language as the Axsimaros that we're talking about today. What a trip, huh?
And we can even put a pin in when this final translation most likely happened. Scholars estimate that the Ethiopic version, the Axsimaros, was produced sometime in the 15th century. Okay, so we know its history, we know where it came from, but what about the content? What's actually inside this book that makes it so unique? Well, the text covers some pretty incredible ground. It describes not just one, but 3 distinct heavens, each with its own purpose. It gets into the creation of angels, their orders, their hierarchies, and, this is a big one, the story of their pride-fueled fall from grace. It also delves into the creation of all living things, and of course, it provides its own expanded account of the creation and fall of Adam and Eve. So, okay, what's the legacy here? Why does a book from the 15th century that's based on even older sources still grab our attention today? Well, academically speaking, the Axsimaros isn't some random standalone text. It's actually part of a recognized literary tradition. You can think of it as a whole family of ancient writings, all focused on creation, angels, and the story of Adam. And you might think that's where its story ends, as an object for scholars to study. But the story of the Axsimaros is so far from over. Incredibly, this ancient text has found a totally new life in the 21st century. It's being read, it's being discussed, and it's being shared in online communities, finding a completely new audience on platforms like YouTube. I mean, think about that jump. The text has made this incredible leap from just a few precious manuscripts in the 15th century to the vast, accessible world of digital media today. Its journey is absolutely still unfolding. And that just leaves us with a really fascinating thought. The story of the Axsimaros, traveling all the way from Greek to Arabic to Ethiopic and now to the internet, it really makes you wonder, how many other ancient stories are out there, still on their own journeys, just waiting to be rediscovered?